MJF has been removed from the AEW roster page, causing speculation to run rampant about his status with the company. Is he gone? Is he staying? Is it a little bit more complicated than that? I'm going to let you know what we know so far. I'm Omer Q from Real Take Wrestling. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. All right. MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman's AEW World Championship run came to an end at World's End on December 30th. Now, just 2 days later, we're here in 2024, and all MJF has been saying for the past year has been that in 2024, his contract expires and that he will be a free agent and will launch the bidding war of 2024. And obviously, there's a bit of a split amongst wrestling fans about what they believe is MJF's status. Here's what we know so far. Number one, he is expected to be off TV. This is a report that came out on the night of the pay-per-view by FightfulSelect.com, who said that MJF is expected to be away from AEW for the next little while. And a large part of that was because of the injuries that he has suffered. In addition to the torn shoulder labrum, he's also dealing with a few other injuries. And it would make sense that someone who has been working as hard as MJF's been working, who's been on TV as much as he has been, and wrestling injured at these big shows and wrestling for 30 minutes on end at these big shows, it would make sense for him to take the time he needs away to heal up, get ready, and eventually rejoin the company down the line whenever it is. And while that report did come out, we also saw today that MJF's name and face and everything was removed from the AEW roster page, which traditionally happens in WWE and AEW when someone is gone from the company. Now, okay, that's what we know. Here is kind of what we have heard over the past year, 2 years about MJF's status in this whole bidding war of 2024. If you have been keeping up with a lot of the stories that have been coming out about MJF and just the speculation around it, was his contract actually up on January 1st, 2024? If you ask him, MJF's been running with this, and Tony Khan has alluded to this as well, but no one else really ever mentions it. And, you know, if you listen to Meltzer, if you listen to Sean Ross Sapp, two of the more well-sourced people when it comes to AEW, you will have heard them at some point say, you know, while there's no confirmation by MJF's status one way or another, really, the general sense or the speculation is that, you know, people feel like he re-signed whenever he came back at AEW All Out 2022. And when you combine, you know, that speculation and then that rumor innuendo along with, you know, some of MJF's more recent actions in defending AEW as a company, and if you really read that amazing Players Tribune article that MJF penned, where he glowingly talks about AEW and really goes after, not after, I should say, but, you know, he defends some of the critiques of the company and you know, some people who have previously left the company who he felt weren't there to really prop it up as much as, you know, prop themselves up. I think the sense is that MJF, I don't think he's going anywhere. That's just my feeling on this. I don't think that MJF has left AEW. I'm of the opinion of the terribly sourced opinion in my, like, just off of the vibes and what we know. I don't think he's gone. I believe that MJF still under contract with AEW and that AEW is kind of still running with this bidding war of 2024 storyline, and that's why they removed him from the roster page to try to give it a little bit more, you know, of a more of a concrete kind of backing, just because they hadn't been alluding to it too much outside of a few interviews MJF has been doing recently. This is the first time they've even like said, like, done anything in action about it, and I think the expectation for me is that for the next few months, MJF is going to be out of action, and by the time he comes back, Adam Cole will have already returned, and he will be going on a bit of a run there. And then the return for MJF is going to be going after Adam Cole. And going after Adam Cole when he and Adam Cole are both 100% healthy. So then obviously building up to a match. That's what I think this is all leading up to. And I expect that AEW commentary is probably maybe going to allude to this on Wednesday. And allude to the fact that MJF's contract has run out, and I do think this is a storyline because when you really like look at the way MJF's been talking about this, man, I don't believe that Tony would go out there and have his world champion say the things that he's been saying about the Bidding War 2024, not have him locked up. Of course, it's professional wrestling. You never know. We'll see what happens. It would be cool in the meantime if MJF ended up doing some like indie dates. I think those would be cool just because it would kind of add to the mystique of is he there? Is he not? Is he signed? Is he not? But we'll see. Another big thing that kind of is expected to happen on AEW is also, according to, if you listen to Brian Alvarez, and this is not going to be the topic of this video, there will be another video for tomorrow talking about this at length, but Mercedes Moné potentially debuting on Wednesday. And, like with MJF kind of gone, you would think that AEW kind of needs more star power. Well, if Mercedes Moné does appear in AEW on Wednesday, star power is exactly what they're getting, and they're getting it at the right time if it's true that MJF is not going to be around. But hey, guess we'll see what happens. I want to hear from you. What do you think? Is MJF staying with AEW? Is he gone? Is he already headed to WWE? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.